So really connect, make sure your feet are connected to the ground so you can feel the heels in the ground and the balls of the feet. Again, just make sure that ball of the foot point is connected to the ground, so we're not rolling on the outside of the foot too much. So just as when we're standing, but obviously there's not as much a weight going through there. Lengthen the spine out, so base of the skull. If you need a little bit of a cushion or anything, a little bit of support, then use that, but if not, just get that base of the skull in connection to the ground so you can lengthen the spine out, and you just let the arms relax by the side. We'll take the palms face up. And just take a moment to tune in with the breath. So your lips are just lightly touching, tongue resting on the roof of the mouth. Notice the nostrils, notice the air in and out through the nose. Really nice physical sensation again. Notice the temperature. Can you sense it slightly cooler as the air is coming in through the nose? Slightly warmer as it's leaving. So come down to the feet again, feel the feet in connection with the ground. Feel the hips, the back of the hips, the back of the pelvis in connection with the ground. Maybe just give a little roll side to side. You've got weight evenly distributed through those two little knobbly bits at the back of the pelvis. Come up to the shoulder blades. And also the bottom of the ribs, so those floating ribs at the bottom. And see if we can just gently push those bottom ribs into the ground. So it's not about trying to flatten your back or forcing anything. It's can you just feel those bottom ribs in contact with the ground. And now just bring your attention back to the breath. Breathing into those bottom ribs. We're not increasing the volume, you're just following your natural breathing rhythm, your natural breathing rate and your natural breathing volume at the minute. But you're just bringing attention to the back of the ribs. As you breathe in, you just feel those ribs engaging, connecting, grounding. You'll also notice maybe your belly just rising a little bit as you're breathing in, because there's no need to hold any tension in the belly area, in the abdominal area. Today we're going to do rocking and rolling and twisting and pushing and pulling. So we're going to start off with a little roll, and you're going to push the right heel and the right foot into the ground. So you're just going to bring that right hip up off the ground, and then you're going to roll back down to the ground, and then you're going to push your left heel, lift that left hip up. The knees are pointing towards the sky. So we just get that really subtle roll side to side. So get that connection of the foot pushing in the ground, the hip lifting. It's not a big movement. It's very smooth, it's very fluid. It's very easeful. Find your own rhythm. And then just come to a rest. And then we'll go again. This time we'll do it all together in sequence. So the first thing I want you to focus on is the right heel into the ground. Then you roll the right foot so you feel the ball of the right foot underneath the big toe. The knee goes towards the sky and you just lift that right hip. A little bit more weight on the left back of the left pelvis. And then you roll back down. So now focus on the left heel, the ball of the left foot. Lift that left hip. And then roll back down. Focus on the right heel, the ball of the right foot. Lift the right hip. Roll back down. Focus on the heel of the left foot, the ball of the left foot. Left hip floats up. Roll back down. Nice, easy, smooth movement. Right heel, right ball, right hip. Roll back down. We go left heel, left ball, left hip. Roll back down. Right heel, ball of the right foot, right hip. And back. And left heel, ball, hip. Right heel, ball, hip, and then just come back to rest. Easy movement, getting those hips working, getting that connection from the contact with the ground, the sequence of events. And now what we're going to do is just roll over to whatever side you're comfortable on. Come over to the side and then come on to hands and knees. So if you need anything to support the knees, if you need a little bit more cushioning under the knees, pop something under the knees. If your knees are comfortable and there's no problems with the knees, just stay comfortably on the mat like that. Your knees are underneath your hips and your hands are underneath the shoulders. We take a neutral position to the spine, i.e. just feel that natural little curve in the lower back. So no forcing, no straining. And now bring your attention again to the back of the ribs that we felt when we were lying on the floor, on our backs. But this time you're breathing into the back of the ribs in this position. So we just the other way around. We just turned ourselves the other way around. So just focus on those ribs in the back of the body. Expanding as you breathe in. Again, it's your natural breath. So we're not increasing the volume, we're not increasing the breath rate, you're just following how you're breathing naturally. And you're feeling the breath into the back of the ribs. And as you breathe out, you might just feel that little bit of engagement, abdominals, belly button, but just very, very subtly in this normal rhythmical breathing. You're just assisting the diaphragm back to its resting position. And now we're going to add an extra length of an out breath. So you're going to breathe in normally through the nose I'll explain it first and then we'll do it. So we'll breathe in for 4 through the nose, and then you're going to do like a candle breath. So it's like you've got a candle in front of you and you're just blowing that candle out. And I'm spitting out of my mouth. That was really good, wasn't it? That was really, really nice, dribbling out of my mouth there. But you're just blowing that candle breath out. So we're just extending that out breath. And as you're extending that out breath, you're just gently, gently, gently pulling that diaphragm back up into its resting posture, back into the rib cage. So let's do that 3 times. We'll do it together. So we'll do a count of 4. So we'll go after I count down from 3. So we do 3, 2, 1. We go in breath 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll breathe out for 8. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go again. Breathe into 4, 3, 2, 1. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe into the back of the ribs. 2, 3, 4. Control breath out, pulling in that diaphragm. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then just breathe easy. And if you need to take a little break there, because again, just by putting weight through the arms, it can be a little bit challenging. So if you need to take a little bit of a break, you can just sit back. You can give your hands a little bit of a shake. Just let the breath settle. And then when you're ready, we go back into all fours position. Now we're just going to check in with our breathing. Breathing just easy. That was just a little practice there to activate, get the diaphragm working, get the ribs knowing what they're doing in this position. Just going to do an easy rock forwards and backwards. So again, keeping that neutral spine. So you rock forwards, putting a little bit of weight through the wrist, through the upper body. Rock back, keeping that tailbone pointing towards the sky. Pretty neutral spine. Rock forwards and rock back. So forwards and back, very, very easy. Again, you'll feel a little bit of weight through the wrists. Spread the fingers. Our tendons in our fingers tend to get tight. So really spread the fingers. Keep the breathing rhythmical. And you can change wrist position. So we could just turn the hands so the fingers are facing inwards. It sets a different position for our shoulders. Keep the shoulders back. Make sure the shoulders aren't hunching up towards the neck. This is a really nice practice just for getting the wrists mobile. And then you could turn the wrists out. Get your elbow pits facing towards the wall or the space in front of you. Just rocking forwards and backwards. Now breathing easy. The breathing may start to follow the movement. It may not. But the movement and the breathing should be easy. This shouldn't be challenging at all. What's coming next can be a little bit more challenging. Pop your hands facing forwards again. And then just find that sweet spot balanced in the middle. Check in with a breath. Now because you've added a little bit of movement, you might be breathing a little bit of greater volume of air. But again, just breathe into the back of the body, the side of the ribs. And then just take a rest and give your hands a little bit of a shake again. Make sure your shoulders aren't tight, so maybe give your shoulders a little bit of a wiggle. And then when you're ready, we go back onto all fours. So remember this position, that your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. Now this is where it gets a little bit more challenging. We've done this one before a while back. So you tuck your feet underneath. So get your feet underneath, and then we're going to bring your shins parallel to the ground just by lifting the knees. So pushing with the hands, lift the knees and keep that neutral spine. You're holding the position, but you're not holding the breath. So see if we can get that sense of the breath going deep into the back of the body. And the minute the breath changes, if you hold the breath, or if it starts to get a little bit chaotic, or as you can hear in my voice now, it starts to get a little bit quivery, or it starts to increase in volume quite a bit, then you just take a rest there. It's not about holding the breath in that position. It's about breathing easily in that position. Let the breath settle, and then we go again. Push in through the heel of the hands, toes of the feet, balance, breathing now. See if you can just do that little rock. So you rock forwards and backwards, keeping that neutral spine. Breathing easy. If the body shakes, that's fine, as long as the breathing stays easy. And in and out through the nose. And then take a rest when it gets to the point where it's really challenging or the breath changes. And again, you can take a little bit of a break by coming up. Nice and tall in this posture. Relax the shoulders. Maybe give the hands a little bit of a shake out. Maybe take a drink if you need a drink. And then, when we're ready, we're going to go back, hands and knees, neutral spine. Really spread those fingers, extend those tendons. Tuck the toes. Lift the shins. Easy breathing. Forwards and back. Easy breathing. Again, when you get to the point where you need to, just take a break. So we want to be in control of that movement all of the time. It's challenging, it's hard work, but you are in control. The minute that movement takes control of you, then you stop. The minute you're trying to survive that and just keep going for the sake of keep going, you stop. Take a little breath, rest again. And breathing with that tall spine. And then we're going to go back into all four position. If you think about as children, as babies, this is when we could get off the floor, or crawling was the first movement pattern that we did before we could get up and walk. And the whole idea of balancing and crawling and being on all fours is something that is really nice to rediscover and explore again. So on your knees, on your hands. Slightly different this time. So this time I'll show you first and then we'll do it. You're going to come up onto the shins and then we're going to do what we did last week. You're going to step back with your right, step back with your left, step forwards with your right, step forwards with your left, lower down. All the way through that, breathing comfortably.
So balance, we'll do this all together. Push in with the heel of the hands, lift the shins, step back, long leg with the right, long leg with the left, back with the right, back with the left, lower. Let the breath settle. We'll go again. Lift the shins. We'll start stepping back with the left this time. Left, extend that back left leg. Extend that right leg back. Bring the left leg back forwards. Bring the right leg back forwards. And lower. Let the breath settle. Now there's a lot of work going on here. So a lot of core engagement, responsive core engagement. So you will need a greater volume of air. You may feel even when you've just done that you need to take a bigger volume of air. That is fine. That's not a problem. That's good. So again, stabilize, lift the shins, step back with the right, step back with the left, step forwards with the right, step forwards with the left, and rest. And then stepping back with the left. So we lift the shins, step back with the left, step back with the right, step forwards with the left, step forwards with the right, and lower. You may want to just slide back. Again, give your hands a bit of a shake. Let the breath settle. Now we're going to come back into that all four position, but we're going to now take the knees out to the side of the mat. So you're just taking your knees wider. If I show you from the front, you're just taking your knees wider. And from there, you're just going to come down onto your forearms, and you're going to keep those forearms at 11 o'clock. So I'll just come back and show you from the side. So we've gone extended knees, forearms so the elbows are in the shoulders, and we're just going to bring that pelvis back, and then we're going to slide forwards from there. So we're going to rock back and slide forwards and back and forward. So this is should be really easy again. If it's hard work, if you just get to there, if your hips are tight, just get to the point that is comfortable. And then come on to the hands. So we're on all fours, but your knees are wide again. Slide the hips back just to the point where you can keep that neutral spine. So before you start to roll the spine, so just to that point where you keep the neutral spine, your arms are slightly in front, or your hands are in front, and we're just going to then twist through. So you're just going to reach through. So this is a nice twist of the spine. You just bend that, soften that right elbow, come back up, and then you go the other way. So balance, soften the left elbow, reach through, come back up, balance, soften the right elbow, reach through, balance. Think of lengthening the spine, so the spine is lengthening and rotating. Balance, reach through, balance, reach through, balance, come forwards and bring the knees back into your all fours position. So we've just done a little mobilization, a little bit of spine twist, a little bit of rotation through the spine. Now just to finish off, we'll do the challenging, slightly more challenging one, where we'll put a press up in that as we step back into this one, as we step back. So I'll show you first and then we'll do it. So you tuck your toes under, lift your shins, we'll step back with the right, step back with the left. Just bend the elbows as comfortable as you can. Come back up, step back with the right, step back with the left, and rest. So you can do that narrow stance and just bend as comfortably as you can, or you can widen the stance of the hands. So whatever feels comfortable. Both are good as long as you're in control, as long as you're not forcing anything. So I'm going to go wide now. So let's do this together. So lift the knees, shins parallel to the ground, step back with the left, step back with the right. A little bit of a push, as comfortable as you can, push back up, step forwards with the left, step forwards with the right, lower. Let's do another one on the right leg, stepping back first. So lift, knees parallel, step back with the right, step back with the left, lower as far as you can, up, step forwards with the right, step forwards with the left, lower. Just those two. You can hear my voice changing, you can hear my breath changing. So yes, you could most probably knock out 5, 10, 15, 20 press-ups, but how does the breath work with that? How does the breath change? At the minute, we're wanting it to be comfortable. If we were doing power presses or anything like that, then yeah, we would use the breath a little bit more, but I want this to be as comfortable and as aerobic and as endurance as possible. We'll combine the 2 step backs this time. So let the breath settle. Just to finish off, we will come shins parallel, step back with the right, step back with the left, lower as comfortably as you can, push back up, step forwards with the right, step forwards with the left, stay there, step back with the left, step back with the right, lower, push back up, step back with the left, step back with the right, lower, back, down. And just to finish off for the last minute, what we can do is lie on our fronts on the floor. So take your feet back. I've just got my mic pack in my pocket, so I'm just going to move the mic pack. Take your feet back, lay on the floor. You can bring your hands up here, and you can pop your head on the side if you want, or you can pop your crown, your forehead on your hands. And this is a nice place just to let the breath settle, let the spine lengthen, and again breathe into the back of the body. And take your time here. For the breath to settle and calm. See if you can just slow that breath ever so slightly. Slow and deep. And then when you're ready, take your time just to come back to sitting. And we will finish there. The playback will be on the training portal as usual. I'll be back next Tuesday for the breathing practice and next Thursday for more of the movement practice. We didn't do any pulling today. We'll add the pulling in next week. If you've got any comments, email me. Do leave them on the training portal as well. Have a fabulous weekend and I'll see you all soon. So thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.